Greetings brethren, CloakingDonkey here, and it is time that we have a little bit of a chat about Camelot Unchained. As you know, I've made quite a lot of content for Camelot Unchained, actually ranging back all the way to the end of 2015 when I started doing that. Right around the time when they unveiled all their classes, that's when I started making videos about them because, well, a bunch of information about the game started coming out. And one of those videos I made in 2015, in fact, is called Camelot Unchained Beta Ahoy. It was a stream summary, and in that stream they were talking about how Beta 1 was gonna be really close and is gonna be soon happening. Obviously, it is now 2017, and we still don't really know when Beta 1 is going to be happening. Of course, they've told us that delays are gonna be happening, etc. blah blah blah. But with the recent Kickstarter of Ashes of Creation, and the things I've said about that game in my videos about it, and considering I get comments about when Camelot Unchained is finally going to go into beta or when it's going to launch pretty regularly on various of my videos, I thought it would be a great time to just tell you exactly what I know. So spoiler alert, I don't know very much. Now I will admit I could probably know more if I was still watching the Friday Q&A streams, however, I don't. I'm just gonna be honest with you, there have been too many of those streams. As I said, I started making videos about this in late 2015, and they have basically made one of those Friday Q&A streams every Friday. Except that that's like 70 Fridays ago. I just have kind of passed the hump of my possible hype, and it's kind of going downhill now. However, that doesn't mean I've written off the game. I don't think there's a point in me watching these Friday Q&A streams every week and then turning them into a stream summary, because to be fair, there's just not very much new being said. It's just a whole bunch of stuff about their development, their progress, and while they are certainly making progress, it's just not interesting enough. There's the steps that are being made each week are not big enough to warrant a video about them. When I stopped making the stream summaries, I said when they have another big stream where they reveal something or they majorly talk about something, I will make another stream summary. And I have to say that just still hasn't happened. There hasn't been another big stream that really revealed a lot of information. It's just been a ton of little streams that each reveal maybe a tiny little bit, and it's usually just progress. I have alpha access, and while I do not have the time to constantly test the game, sadly, I do look into it every now and then just to see the progress, and there is certainly progress. So to anyone worried that this game is never going to come out or is not even being worked on, that is definitely not the case. There is absolutely being work done on this game. Every time I checked it absolutely had improved and grown, with more and more things being added in and it becoming more and more of a game. Now I do think we're nearing the stage where a beta might be possible, but I can't tell you when that beta is going to be. I mean, I said the same thing at the beginning of the year and now it's June, so it might very well be that we're not going to see beta 1 before the end of the year, or at least before December. It might also be that we see beta in August or in July. I cannot tell you. I do not know. Because they have been very careful to not drop too many hints as to when beta 1 is going to happen. And I think that is absolutely smart, because we are at a point where, well, we are almost 2 years along from when beta 1 was first supposed to happen, right? So there's really not much point in making any promises anymore. Now, when I criticized Ashes of Creation, there were some people saying, isn't this the same thing as Camelot Unchained? And yeah, absolutely. The entire point of me making a video about Ashes of Creation, telling people to be careful not to get too overly hyped about this project just yet, was that, well, I was just as hyped about Camelot Unchained 3 or 4 years ago when it was announced. And now look where we are, 3 years later, and we have no idea when beta 1 is actually going to happen. And that was really all I tried to do with Ashes of Creation, was caution people to not get too overly hyped. And to be fair, that is also what I have been doing with Camelot Unchained. I've tried to curb everybody's hype by not making too many videos about it. No, that is only partly true. There's also the fact that it is very difficult to make videos about a game that just doesn't exist yet. You eventually just run out of things to say. I am not that much of a lore guy. If you're looking for in-depth lore videos, that's never gonna be me. I'm definitely a little bit more gameplay focused. Because when it comes to this lore type stuff, I generally just prefer mythology and history as they are and not as game developers interpret them. So it's hard to even find topics for videos, and that's why I've kind of spread out the Camelot Unchained Examine series to make sure that I have a few more months of these videos to upload, maybe. But the main reason is really that I just do not want to keep pushing the game as hard as I had been back then, because I have realized that it is still going to be quite a while for the game to actually come out, even if we get the beta this year. And again, that is not a given. It is possible that we might just get the beta in 2018. But even if we do get the beta this year, there's probably still at least a year of development after the start of beta to be done. So even if we get the beta this year, the launch is not going to happen until late 2018, maybe even 2019. And who knows, maybe I'm completely off and the launch of Camelot Unchained is going to be in 2020. We don't really know at this point, and there just is not much sense in speculating aimlessly. And while a 2020 launch date for Camelot Unchained may be pessimistic, I think it is important that everybody curb their enthusiasm just a little bit, because it's just going to make you all the more upset when the game launches in 2020. As a general rule, it's better to be pessimistic, because you will never be disappointed, only ever pleasantly surprised. And a 2018 launch for Camelot Unchained would be an absurdly pleasant surprise for me. Trust me, I would love that. But at the same time, I am not banking my plans on it at all. Now, one thing I have done in the last 2 years is I have kept pretty much everything that they released in terms of screenshots. And what I would like to show you is the progress that they have actually made since they started this development cycle. Because anyone can make empty promises and tell you, oh my god, this game is certainly going to come out and it's going to be amazing. And anyone can be a doomsayer as well and say, oh, this game will never come out, it's vaporware. But the best thing in my opinion to do is just to see the evidence of what is going on with your own eyes. And so here I present to you a little montage of how the game has progressed visually. See, they are definitely making progress in this game. When will we actually get to play it? I don't know. I can't tell you, and I don't think there is anyone who can tell you apart from Mark Jacobs and the team, and I do not think that they want to give any more promises. Alright guys, and that is really already it for this video. I really just wanted to let you know that I am definitely still on the Camelot Unchained train. I have just left the hype car and am now sitting happily in the pondering and contemplation caboose. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and also consider subscribing if you have not. And do head over to twitch.tv/CloakingDonkey, where I stream all sorts of games, usually MMORPGs, currently Warhammer Online, but also other games pretty regularly. But until then, I've been the CloakingDonkey and I'll see you in another video!